Pricing a product is an interesting part of the journey as an entrepreneur, or pricing your service. I'll share with you a story that's part of my journey, and that was I sold fax machines, and my product's name was Dex, and I was having to go up against Canon. And day after day, I would cold call all day long. I'd get the chance to sell my fax, and my price was lower than the Canon. And they would buy the Canon. And I would say, why are you buying the Canon? They'd say, because I've never heard of Dex. So then a few weeks later, I'd cold call again, keep cold calling and getting rejected. Then I changed my price to match the Canon, and they would buy the Canon. And I said, why are you buying the Canon? They said, because still never really heard of Dex, and I'm gonna go with the known brand. So then I made the price of my Dex slightly higher than the Canon, and everybody stopped in my meetings and started asking more questions and saying, why is this Dex more money than the Canon? What am I missing? And it gave me an opportunity to really sell the features and what was so special about the Dex fax machine. And they started buying it. So when I priced my own product, I kept that story in mind. There's a lot about value, value perception, and I knew I had to meet a certain formula that I mentioned earlier. It needed to be at least 5 times my manufacturing cost to be able to make the business work. And I kept all those variables in mind when I priced my first product. So when I was trying to price Spanx, I kept a few things into mind because I literally did not know how to price something. I'm like, where do you go to figure out where you're supposed to price something? I kept in mind, I wanted it to feel like a gift that someone was buying themselves. I also kept in mind that I wanted it to be a value-based purchase and not a cost-based purchase. And what I mean by that is I wanted to go to the distribution channels where price wouldn't be as much of a determining factor, that the consumer would want to pay a little extra for quality and brand. Because the next thing is I didn't want to have to compete with the big guys. I knew that they would be super cutthroat and probably be able to outprice me right away. And if I was serving that customer that the extra dollar and the price really, really mattered to them, that I probably wouldn't be able to compete as much or deliver what I knew was most special about my product. And then the last thing was just premium. I knew that I wanted to, have it be premium and where I wanted it to sit in relation to other people in the market.